Thomas Anderson, the last government watchdog. And it's the last government watchdog because I'm the last guy in Washington, D.C. that does it the old school way. The old school way, which means you actually go with evidence, okay? With facts. You don't make it up. You don't have secret sources. You don't have secret leaked documents. No, public documents, evidence, witnesses, uh, SEC documents, FEC documents. Uh, the list goes on and on. Okay, so that's what I'm focused on. That's what I'm doing. And what we're talking about right now is the complaint I filed against Congressman Ritchie Torres out of the Bronx in New York. I filed a complaint on him, and I want to just say this first of all is that I'm a big believer in the broken window theory, and that's a theory where if you're policing a community and you deal with the small crimes like broken windows, like graffiti, little things, that eliminates the bigger crimes. That you make it so that the bigger crimes never occur because with most criminal activity, things start off small and they build their way up. So what you want to do is nip it in the bud in the beginning. And you don't want to come down harshly on people. So what do we have in Congress? We have a situation where we don't do things according to the broken window theory. We wait until things explode and they're out of control into some type of huge international scandal. Well, for Congressman Ritchie Torres, we're at the beginning of something that could be huge. And what are we seeing with him? Well, in his financial disclosure forms, he filed that he went on a trip to Kosovo in November 2022. Now, this was right 10 months after the special operation started between Russia and Ukraine. And Kosovo is right there near the region next to Serbia, which is bordering there with Russia, and I'm sorry, with Ukraine. And so this situation is one in which when a sitting member of Congress, an elected official, goes to a place like that near a war zone where there are a lot of political tensions, you would normally think that it was some type of trip that was formally done through Congress or the State Department had a hand in it. But the way that he filed this, he filed it in his financial disclosures, which means that he went on some type of thing that was not involving the State Department or Congress. It was some type of free trip that was supposed to be paid for through the government of Kosovo. That's how you're supposed to file these things. Well, he filed that the trip was paid for by a nonprofit. And when you look at the nonprofit, the entity hasn't even filed with the state of New York Bureau of Charities to be an acting nonprofit, and they haven't filed 990s in years. So the question is how is it that you have a nonprofit that hasn't filed 990s in years, that hasn't registered with the state of New York Charities Bureau, with the Attorney General there, and yet they're financing trips to Kosovo for elected for members of Congress? That's a big deal, okay? That's a big problem. And then the other thing is that the person supposedly that he put on Twitter that paid for it, this woman, she was a former member of parliament for Kosovo, but at the time had resigned for medical reasons and was a private citizen. So she probably should have filed with the Justice Department a FARA filing as a foreign agent, but that never happened. And so I filed a complaint with Congress, with the OCE, asking them to find out from Congressman Torres, like, who really paid for the trip, right? And what was the trip all about? And what's going on? Because when you look at what happens there, after the trip, his donations started to go through the roof from people who aren't even from his district. He's in the poorest district in New York City. He doesn't have that many donors, but his donations have exploded. And so, broken windows theory, right? This may not be the biggest scandal in the world, but it's a problem. And it's something that needs to be nipped in the bud now rather than allowed to go out of control. So that's the type of work we're doing here at the last government watchdog project for the Black DC, which is a super PAC, government watchdog super PAC. That's what we're trying to get done here. That's what we're focused in on. And hopefully we can get some media attention on this topic of Representative Ritchie Torres. In the meantime, guys, have a great day. It was great. Take care.